Hello, we are excited to talk about cucumbers and beets this morning. Two new things in your farm box for this year anyway. You can see that these cucumbers don't all look the same. This green smooth one, this is the English cucumber. You're probably used to seeing these long and skinny from Costco. It's the same type of cucumber. They just don't stay quite as skinny as those ones do. This is called an Ashley. It's probably similar to the ones that you get at the grocery store. It's a small one, and some of you will receive these, but in the coming weeks you'll receive plenty of all these different types of cucumbers. And then these little ones that has this really rough skin, these are the pickling cucumbers. So this is what you might call a pickle size. These ones, are a little bit bigger. The Ashleys will grow longer, while the pickling ones will just grow bigger. Now, just because I give you pickling cucumbers does not mean I expect you to make pickles, although once we have a bunch of these going in the next week or two, I will share with you an awesome refrigerator pickle recipe that I love. But right now, these are just great to eat. So I say pickling cucumber, not expecting you to make pickles, but to eat them like you would an apple, where you just clean them up and eat the whole thing. I love to put a piece of cheese with mine and have cucumbers and cheese. Now, I do need to say one thing. Cucumbers have a bitter component in them that's meant to keep predators away. So that's a good thing, because the deer aren't going to bother our cucumbers at all. However, sometimes under stressful conditions, that bitterness can come out. So we expect to have non-bitter cucumbers throughout the farm share. However, here we are in our first week, and we had our main water line break to the garden. It broke midweek last week, so they missed a watering on Friday, but they got water on Monday. But it was a really hot weekend, so there were a few days where these plants were probably a little bit more stressed. Now, I've tasted a few cucumbers and they've been okay, but I want to tell you that there could be some bitterness in some of these, and that's easy to remedy. First of all, the bitterness is going to be on the end that we picked the cucumber off of the plant from. So if you get a cucumber that's a little bit bitter, it's just going to be on the one end, and the rest of the cucumber should be fine. Also, I know this is kind of a wives' tale, but if you cut off the end and rub, you actually get a little bit foamy. And it's amazing because this actually does help pull bitterness out of the cucumber. So then you just rinse that off, and you can taste the cucumber and see, wow, this cucumber is delicious. So I have hope that there's not a lot of bitter cucumbers out there. It's interesting, you'll notice that each of these cucumbers actually have a slightly different flavor. This one is very smooth and a little bit sweeter than these other ones. So you'll have to maybe have a cucumber tasting party with your family, especially as we get more cucumbers coming throughout the season. You also have beets. Now, in my experience, most people are really excited when they get beets in the farm share. And then there's a few who just think they taste like sweet dirt and they don't love beets. Well, I actually do think they taste like sweet dirt, but I still love them. I generally do pare mine, although if you're going to shred these into something, you may not need to remove the skin, especially since these are nice young beets, so the skin is still pretty tender. Like most vegetables, you may have noticed that I love to eat my vegetables raw in most cases. So you can just cut up these beets and eat them raw. They are delicious. They are so good for your heart. And they are a root vegetable, so of course full of minerals. I hope you guys enjoy your beets this week. You can also saute them, put them in the vegetable bake that I've shown you how to do before. Now, instead of turnips, you can put beets in there with everything. They do tend to turn everything a little bit pink, but that's okay. They are so worth it, so healthy, and so delicious.